Welcome back, everybody, to another Divi Project blog. This is part 2 of the Divi Community Vision for 2023 by Nick Saponaro. It's going to go over the 4 pillars of a healthy market. And after this article, if you have any questions, be sure to tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time in Twitter for Spaces with Nick Saponaro, and he can answer all the questions for you. And then hopefully this one gets recorded, so that way we can re-listen to it at will. But yeah, let's go over this blog. So part 2 explores achieving a healthy market by focusing on liquidity, utility, demand, and volume, and leverages of the EVM to catalyze the Divi developer community through initiatives such as Divi Ventures and Dev Jams. So here's a thumbnail of the 4 pillars, and let's go over those pillars. So if you've been following me or the project for the past few months, you've seen me championing the 4 pillars of a healthy market. These pillars are liquidity, utility, demand, and volume. It is difficult to achieve a healthy market, viewing these items as critical drivers because they form a chicken and egg problem. One begets the other, and so on. So how do we achieve these things? Well, let's start off with liquidity. We have already taken the first steps by integrating GSR as our market maker. We have enabled deep liquidity in the market. We have also launched the Divi DeFi platform, which provides decentralized liquidity and the potential for cross-exchange arbitrage. However, just because this is deep liquidity lying in wait on these centralized exchanges and growing liquidity on the decentralized exchanges, it doesn't mean much if there is not enough utility to drive to drive the demand. Now, this which generates volume. Now let's go over utility. Currently, the utility potential of Divi is limited. You can spend it at a variety of online and offline merchants. You can stake it. You can deploy it as a liquidity in the DeFi AMM pools. Now, while the Divi blockchain is highly robust from a security perspective, it doesn't have much flexibility. In other words, you can't develop much on top of it. There is no ability to write expressive, Turing-complete smart contracts with the Divi blockchain. Now, does that mean we just toss it out? Absolutely not. Divi is a vital part of the ecosystem as a settlement layer and a driver of consensus on a layer 1. Now, we can focus on the newfound ability of Divi on the Ethereum network, as well as Divi on the Polygon Matic network, so to be leveraged for new tools, products, services, etc. In Web3 at the same time, we continue to maintain the baseline infrastructure that bolsters the ecosystem. I will explore how this shift will take place later in this blog. Now start thinking of ways you can use Divi now that we have access to the EVM. It doesn't have to be highly technical. It can be a simple game, an NFT drop, a helpful tool, or anything your mind can imagine. Now look at all the integrations the Bonk community was able to put together. You may find this silly, but they had an insane run, and look at all the use cases that the community built for it in this short time. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It just has to be something where people can use their Divi. If a meme coin can do it, indeed we can too. Now, the more utility we create as a community, the more demand we will drive toward the coin. Now, demand and volume. As stated above, once enough utility is available throughout the ecosystem, we will start to drive demand. The more demand, the more volume. And the more volume, the more traders will look at the coin, and round we go. Now let's go over the pillar on leveraging the EVM. The Divi coin is now on Ethereum and Polygon. That means building new use cases for Divi just became 100 times easier. Hundreds of thousands of developers already know how to work with Solidity, Ethereum smart contract language, and how we can attract them to our ecosystem. If you are a developer and a Divi community member, you should consider ways to capitalize on this new toolset. Now, here are some of my ideas on how we can catalyze the Divi developer community. Divi Ventures. If you've been around for a while, you may remember an idea that my co-founder, Jeffrey McCabe, had called Divi Ventures. This concept would enable community members to contribute their own Divi and vote upon new projects that would receive funding for building new Divi use cases. While there was significant interest in the concept, it could never take off because there is no decentralized or on-chain way to manage the fund on the Divi Layer 1. Now, there is also no current way to apply for Divi Foundation funding, nor have any projects built to date received significant funding for their efforts. However, now with the access to the EVM, this insurmountable hurdle no longer exists. Now let's reinitiate the conversation about Divi Ventures. I envision it working like This as a purely an example. So this is just an example. So here's the thoughts on that. We have a minimum of 100,000 Divi contribution. For each 100,000 Divi, the user receives a single governance token. A single wallet can contribute a maximum of 1 million Divi. Each governance token counts for one vote. Proposals are drafted and submitted through a website. Governance token holders can stake their tokens to vote on proposals, receives funding or not. And then once decided, governance tokens return their owners and funds dispersed automatically. So again, this is purely just an example of what can be done. Now remember, this is purely governance over the Divi Ventures arm of the ecosystem, so nothing else. This collective doesn't contribute to the decisions outside the mandate of funding new use cases for the ecosystem. Now, I'm not married to the number above. There are just starting point for discussion. So yeah, great discussion point. If you want to discuss some more, again, tune into the Twitter Spaces tomorrow. Now, another idea is dev jams. Dev jams are a great way to collaborate as a community and build fun use cases. This activity is typical in the game development community and helps developers hone their skills and create or iterate on ideas. Now, let's schedule periodic dev jams with anyone willing to or interested in building new use cases for the ecosystem. These would be short, weekend-long events where we each develop a concept and knock it out over the weekend. The dev jams will be an excellent opportunity to quickly deploy many use cases for Divi over a shorter period. Now, they don't have to be groundbreaking ideas, but maybe one or two will go viral. Now, again, please join me for Twitter Spaces this Friday to discuss the concepts we just discussed here and look out for the next post in this series to be launched 1 week from today. So nice, they are. Divi is killing it and like getting more in the community, getting the community involved and whatnot. You can also join the Divi DAO now, as we will open discussion on the governance framework over the next few weeks starting this Friday. So another place to go. So, and everything can be clicked on in here. I'll leave a link to this article in the description box, and you just click on the links in there, and boom, this will take you to the Divi DAO proposal. And again, I will also leave a link to the Twitter Spaces for tomorrow, so set that reminder so you don't miss it. And we can just discuss Def Jams and what was that other concept? Divi Ventures. So yeah, pretty good article right there, Nick. Always love hearing from you and the Divi team. But yeah, what do you guys think of the blog? Do you like it? If so, don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, the Crypto Sherpa is out.